Hey everybody, Tim here at Doc's Autos. We are hanging out here at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Show out here in Baraboo, Wisconsin. And behind me is my buddy's old Minneapolis steam engine. So I'm gonna go take a little ride on that and some other engines around here and just kind of have a good old show and tell for a little bit. So stay tuned. Alrighty, like I said, we're hanging out in Baraboo, Wisconsin here with some friends, playing on steam engines. We've got sawmills, all sorts of good stuff. So sitting here is my buddy's Minneapolis steam engine. And one of those fun things you don't get to see too often, but when you do, take advantage of it. Today we're sitting here on the separator waiting for some more bundle wagons to show up so we can do some threshing. And pretty much, if you're not familiar with steam engines, it's pretty much the precursor to the gas engines, gas tractors. And this whole big thing here is your boiler, basically a giant tea kettle. And this is your engine here. It's single piston, single cylinder, which does all of your work. Over here on this side, we have the flywheel, so would be, I guess, akin to a current time PTO, but you hook up your belt to do whatever you're going to be doing, whether it's running on a sawmill, running on a separator, and whatnot. So while not incredibly high horsepower, these engines have tremendous amounts of torque. So they just get up and go. They can pull tremendous loads. We'll do field plowing with them. Basically, this is what we had before our current tractors today. So. Here we've got the 4-core steam engine on the sawmill, paired up with a return flow Minneapolis steam engine. This engine here is owned by our friends, the Walls, and oftentimes you'll have two engines on a sawmill for more power. It does often take the operators some effort and technique to make sure their engines are both matched up in RPMs, especially when you're both belted up to the same shaft on the sawmill. And these two engines pretty much operate most of the operations in the sawmill here, from the blade to the carriage. On the end there is a chop saw operated by another steam engine, but depending on what's in your various sawmills, 1, 2, sometimes 3 engines are used. And sometimes your wood is just a little bit bigger than the blade. Here's my buddies Tanner and Dale on Tanner's Port Huron steam engine. That's been a family steam engine for many years, and here they are running on the Clover Huller, I believe. And you can see Tanner there is adjusting the governor, which in turn translates to changing the RPMs of the engine at the flywheel. So these separators, sawmills, pretty much anything belted up has an ideal RPM that it likes to operate at, and the engine can be dialed in to meet that specific RPM. Here we've got my buddy Fred running on the big Rumley steam engine here. They are on the crony brake, essentially a old school dyno to try and give an estimate of how many horsepower the engine has at the flywheel. And here we've got our friends Mallory and Gretchen running around on their family's 16-horse advanced steam engine. One of the big advantages here, as I've mentioned, was the sheer torque that these things have. So, you know, this big Rumley engine here trying to pull a 6-bottom plow is nothing.
Alrighty folks, well that was our little weekend out at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Show in Baraboo, Wisconsin. It was warm, thankfully had air conditioning and good friends. So that's kind of what it's all about, an old hobby and getting together with good friends. So a lot of us come from all over the region, some across the country, some from Canada, and we're all kind of together for a common interest, whether it's the steam engines, separators, the sawmills, the gas tractors, some of the shows we go to, horsepower, a bunch of different activities, just sort of trying to maintain and preserve that history of where we've come from. So probably head to a couple other shows yet this year, a couple other weekends, whatever. So stay tuned for those. Otherwise, if you did like this, kind of a deviation from the car content, go ahead and hit subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, and we'll be sure to see you all in the very next video. Bye-bye.